My name is Edith Jean Jackson Barnett, and I use all of that. Usually my signature is Edith J.J. Barnett. I love doing it. I graduated from Pemberton High School, the local high school here. It is located in Pemberton, New Jersey on Fort Dix Road. That's where it was. Sorry, that's where it was. Now it's a middle school because they since built a new high school. Oh, and I think Arnie's Mount Road. So it was the high school at the time that I graduated, which was in 1970, I am proud to say. I was born at Fort Sam Houston in San Antonio, Texas, 1952. My dad was in the service, so he was stationed there. And me, along with two other siblings, were born there. He was stationed to Fort Dix. We traveled all over. I've lived in different parts, including Germany. And we were in Texas, went back to Texas, and then he was stationed to Fort Dix for the second time because I had a sister who was born here. So, like I say, we moved around a lot. So we came in 1967. Well, I live here. I live here in Browns Mills. And as a, let's say, a high schooler, my boyfriend, who later became my husband, um, we used to come out here to have picnics and see the bogs. He was from Browns Mills, so he was here all his life. So he basically showed me Whitesbogs and what cranberries about and blueberries were about. And he used to, I guess, pick blueberries out here. So basically, that is my connection. And my church is also just a little ways up the road on Lakehurst Road. So going to 70, of course, you pass this all the time. We met actually in 1967 when we came here. We were in the same high school. Right. We were in the same, we graduated together. Same age, same high school, graduated together. As I say, high school sweetheart. Um, so that's when we met, and that's when I had the history of Browns Mills as he knew it. And his mother and father had been here for a long time. I have one son. His name is Raymond Barnett Jr. And at presently, he lives in North Carolina. Right. Plus, I have grandchildren, and I have a 15-year-old grandson who I'm extremely proud of. My son, yes, yes, because we used to go swimming out here. When you said son, for some reason I was thinking great grandson, because I got to get this all straight. But yes, we brought him out here. We went fishing and swimming. I attended a couple events that they had here, and I participated in a few events that they had in conjunction with the Township Alliance Group, because I belong to the Township Alliance Group also. Father-in-law, yeah. When he passed away, he was almost 90. And he passed away, Dad passed away about maybe 5 or 6 years ago. And I know he came up here as a young boy. So he was here most of his childhood and all of his adult life. Well, I don't know. To be honest with you, there's just so many because, again, I was a young girl when I came here. I was 17 or 16 or something. After a while, you forget. But I mean, my whole life was really here. I just really enjoyed the country atmosphere because I'm moving around a lot, being quote unquote an army brat and moving around a lot. When we came here, I did feel a sense of home. Once we actually came here and, settled in as far as into the community, my mom and dad had a house built out here. So they also stayed here for since 67 until they passed away. Um, Memories I remember out here, I saw a swan for the first time and the only time I had seen pictures of swans or in the zoo or something. And it was always like fairy tale like. So when I saw the first real swan, that did stick in my mind that they're here. And I've seen different wildlife as far as here that I would not have seen in my travels, even though we lived a lot of different places. Oh, also what sticks out too is the what is it? What do you call it? The Jersey Devil. and unfortunately, he's my ex-husband now, but we're still very, very friendly. My ex-husband would tell me the stories of, the Jersey Devil lurking in White's bogs and the different um, concepts of what it actually was. Somebody thought it was an eagle holding a prey or something, galloping off, and they had turned it into a lot of different things. So that will never leave my mind. And for a while there, I was afraid because we used to come out here. Then you didn't have a dusk to dawn or whatever. You come out anytime, way back then. So sometimes we would come out here at nighttime. Also, I did participate in a few Halloween things where they had the hayride. I've done the hayride and everything, trying to fight off the mosquitoes or whatever was out at the time. But I really enjoyed it and had a good time. Being a realtor allowed me to have that flexibility. Since 1986, so about 30 years, I started doing that. I started doing that after my divorce because I wanted to be available for my son. As far as school, I was always room mother when I used to have those things and baking the cookies and the cupcakes, and I wanted to still be a part of that. Plus, I wanted to be available for my mom and dad and also my mother and father-in-law. So when I first started, I worked for Century 21, which is located right here in town on Juliustown Road, right up in town, until it closed. And then I went over to Remax First Choice, which was a street over. Recently, we merged with another office in Columbus, Remax at Home. So now Remax at Home. And even though I do use a walker and a cane, that has not interfered at all with my career. And during that time span too, I got my bachelor's degree in behavioral science. And that's one of the things that led me to do the real estate because you're helping people and you need to know people and the different things that they go through as far as emotional and stuff. Some people see selling a house as, oh, you go sell a house and you exchange funds and that's it. But there's a lot of emotional upheaval that goes with that. And the same thing with buying a house. So me getting my bachelor's degree in behavioral science has been truly a good thing. And now I'm back even more so into the community because I substitute teach for seventh and eighth graders. And a lot of people think that that's difficult and think it would be even more difficult because I do have the walker and the cane. And the seventh and eighth graders are kind of feeling their way a little bit, but I have found it to be a wonderful experience. Most of them are extremely polite. They get the door for me. They ask me if I drop something. They're readily there to pick it up and stuff. So I found the kids to really, truly be a pleasure. And I look forward to doing that along with the real estate forever and ever. It's called the Helen Ford Middle School. Right. They changed it to that when they built the new high school. So now I'm there and I see, it's so interesting to walk the same hallways. I'm trying to think where my locker was, but I could not figure it out. I do know as far as my church goes, my church had a history here in Whitesbog. I think they initially started out here. Um, it had something to do with the arbor or something. They had built some kind of, it was an open space, but they would come there and worship. And I'm sure that there are pictures here or some kind of something here, but I can't pinpoint it, that speaks on that. So, and I go to Friendship AME Church, again, which is right down the road, and it actually started here. And then they moved, someone was kind enough to donate the land that our church is on now. So that's where I worship. Other than that, I do like how they have the Blueberry Festival. And even now, which is almost like shame on me, when I came here, it was like, wow, I have a museum right in my backyard that I really, well, after this, I definitely will take more advantage of and also put the word out. So people will know that this is here. If I hadn't come today, I would not have seen that picture of my father-in-law in a baseball team so many years ago. I know they were trying to get him to go pro, but yes, he was really good, and they called him Rabbit because he was fast. So he carried the name of Peter, even though his name is Donald Barnett. They called him Pete. Right, they called him Pete. I used to think that that was his name until later I found out it was not Pete. It was Donald Barnett. And I think he gave it up, or he didn't pursue it because he fell in love with the lady who ended up being my mother-in-law, who lived in Lakewood. And he would like walk from here to Lakewood to see her. And they eventually ended up getting married, and they settled here in Browns Mills, and they were here the whole time. Another memory that I have, on the corner in town where the dental office is, they used to have a diner there called Wolfie's Diner. And he made the best real hamburgers in the world. I mean, you got a real hamburger. Now the kids think a real hamburger is McDonald's and Burger King. I know my son one time told me, Mom, I like to have hamburgers tonight. He was like maybe 9 or 10. I says, okay, I'll make you hamburgers. He goes, no, no, no. I want a real hamburger from McDonald's. I said, oh, okay, we'll get you a real hamburger. It's less work for me. But all the memories that I have here are fond memories. And I think another thing that's beautiful, not as far as just the White's Bogs, is all the lakes that we have around here. Like we have the Mirror Lake. When you go around Christmas time and see the reflection of the decorated houses in the lake, that is so beautiful. And if you've never seen that, I encourage you, to go around and see that, because it's a beautiful lake. And all the little lakes that we have here, I think it's a lake community. It started out as a summer home community. It's how Browns Mills originally started. That's how you'll see around Pemberton Township a lot of bungalows, because folks would come from Philadelphia and have summer here. They thought the Mirror Lake waters, right where the dam is, the main bridge, had medicinal powers. And cause cedar water, they would come here and get the cedar water because it's supposed to be something, maybe it kept them young or something. I don't know. But I heard about all these different tales. And we used to have a pizza parlor right there in the corner, right there by the dam. That used to be a pizza parlor who made the best pizzas in the world. So there are a lot of memories like that. And I know with life, things change, but some things kind of sort of stay the same. Like you don't really change the trees and unless you're building something. But, oh, another thing is too, I don't know that people know, it used to be in Philadelphia. If you subscribe to the newspaper, they would give you a lot, 20 by 100 lot in Browns Mills in Pemberton Township. And that's how a lot of people got their initial properties, or at least started on it. And I'm like, wow, I was happy when the gas stations used to give out a little glass. But all in all, I think it's a very unique area that I love being here, and I look forward to being here forever and ever. And like I said, my son is in North Carolina, but my granddaughter, she's not in Browns Mills, but she works at Deborah Hospital. Right, so she works up there, so she is in touch as far as with the community. Look into the history of where you live. Know your history, and not just what is happening now. It is so important to know what has been. I think it makes you a stronger person, of course, a more informed person. We brought, out here, they did do a skit one time on Harriet Tubman. And we brought a group of girls, because I have a group called Positive Feelings. And it's a group of young ladies, 12 to 17, that I try to teach them, whatever happens to you in life, you can change it into something positive. You can get bogged down with the negative stuff if you choose. but you have choices. And we brought them out here. And I think it was the first time that some of them saw this area, and they saw the skit, and then we walked around a bit, and they loved it. So I would say when they have programs in your community, it's very important, and not even just programs, they have a parade or whatever. It's very important to attend those things to know what's going on around you and to fall in love with wherever you are and truly, truly make it your home. So